All right, fellas. So let's go straight to the chase. Before we go to the chase, don't hesitate to click the button that is below there and subscribe, basically. So yeah, today we're gonna have a little prediction on the fight that is upcoming. It is Francis Ngannou, the Predator, against Cyril Gane, the Bongama. This fight, from what I understand, has already been scheduled. We don't know. I don't know the exact date, but from what I heard, it is scheduled for the month of January 2022. So hold on, stay put. Maybe we're gonna. I don't know if there was already an official communication on this, but let's stay put and follow up and see if they're going to give us some more detail about the schedule of this fight. So right now, what I hear is that Cyril Gane is the favorite. Doesn't bother me that much because it kind of makes sense. Cyril Gane is basically the one that has the most fighting experience between the two. Let's not forget that yeah, he might have maybe what 10-ish fights in the UFC, but he had on top of that before joining the UFC about 12 fight in Muay Thai professionally. So that makes him the most experienced fighter of the two, right? And we understand where his skill set and his style is coming from. But from there on, to say that he's going to school Francis Ngannou and that he's going to, draw a circle around him during their fight and beat him up, I think it's a little stretch to take right there. I think it would be a disrespect to Francis Ngannou and the opponents that he has faced and beaten, including Stipe Miocic first. We got also Jorginho, also that was in the mix. We have Alistair Overeem that was in the mix. Arlovsky that was in the mix. Great wrestler like Blades that Cyril Gane didn't face, and Cyril Gane didn't face Miocic as well. I would have liked to see Cyril Gane face a renowned wrestler like Curtis Blades. I think that would have been a good test for him. But nevertheless, yes, I think that is a stretch to say that yes, Cyril Gane is going to come in here, school, and get Ngannou out of there easy. That's a stretch. Now, in terms of talking about the key to victories about these two fighters, right? I'm going to start with basically, I'm going to start actually with Cyril Gane. So for me, for Cyril Gane to win, first of all, he has. We're talking about Ngannou's cardio, and I think that he needs to tire him up. He needs to make him work. The only way that I see that he can make him work safely and tire him safely, and actually even doing some damage in there, is the clinch. He has to clinch. He has to initiate the clinch on Ngannou, make him work in the clinch, and also fake takedowns and make him work on takedowns. I think that's very important. Every time Ngannou work, I mean, he makes his muscle, all his muscles work, right? He's tense, he's stretched up, everything works. His cardiac rhythm is going up to the roof. That spends a lot of energy, right? I don't think that he knows how to, the muscles that don't need to work that much to relax them. I don't know if he's doing that type of management, effort management. But in any case, yes, Cyril Gane has to initiate the clinch. He has to make Ngannou work on fake takedowns. Even if he doesn't want to have a takedown, he has to make him work on the takedowns. And when he's coming out of the clinch, I think that's where he needs to do a lot of damage. Throw elbows like he knows how to throw them. Throw spinning elbows like coming out of the clinch. Throw uppercut, stuff like that, or even kicks when he's coming out of the clinch. I think that that's going to be very important, and that could be effective because I think that it is a weapon or a strategy that he has used before, and that we've seen against numerous opponents when he was in the clinch. And so this clinch is going to have two effects: tire up Ngannou, and also make some damage to soften him up. Now, that's not the best thing for Gane to be. First of all, Gane also he has to find angles. He has to fight in angles, right, left, find angles, and especially when he's backing up, doesn't back up in a straight line. We've seen what backing up in a straight line does, especially against Jairzinho Rosenstruck. That wasn't that wasn't really helpful. So he didn't help. So he has to fight and find angles, right, and get away from that right hand, definitely, right. And when he's fighting at the distance, be sure that he has a good distance management. Be ready to move, right? Because Ngannou is going to be there trying to tag him with everything that he got. Now, so at a distance, he has to be very careful. I think that his best weapon at a distance is not really his right hand or hook or even elbows, except when I said when he's in the clinch. But it's more his kicks. He's got great kicks, right? He's got to try to soften up Ngannou and test him on the calves. Most definitely, he's got great. He's coming from Muay Thai, so he should have great kicks, and especially on the calves. And soften him up there and try some high kicks to the head, right? But obviously, he needs to use all his weapon. He needs to vary all the shots, right? So that it doesn't become predictable, but he already is. He already does that all the time. He has many strides. But I think that his kicks, like front kick, kick to the knee, calves kick, are going to be the weapon to use against Ngannou, because he can lean a little bit backwards and avoid from this kick avoid the counter attack. And I don't think that Ngannou, he's going to be the one to initiate the takedowns or try to favor a grappling or a ground game match, because it wouldn't fit, especially with his cardio. It wouldn't be a very good idea. So looking at this way, I think that it's more like a marathon run for Gane again, I would say. And this is going to be, in my opinion, the way that he cannot, that he's going to win this fight. He cannot win a fight going toe to toe, in my opinion, with Ngannou, who's got a good chin, right? I don't want to say a great chin, although we don't know what is the extent of the durability of Gane, right? We've seen him take some punches. He never got hurt yet, so he seems to have a good chin, but we still have to respect the power of Ngannou, right? And I think he will, until maybe he feels that he's able to take those punches, and then maybe he can move forward and change the strategy. But from where I stand and from what I know, he's going to have to fight on the outside at the range where Ngannou cannot get him, and get into range just to throw maybe kicks and all that stuff, a little bit of punches. But I would say again, favor the kicks, right? And when he wants to get in, he gets all in and does the clinch and just the fake takedowns and make Ngannou work. That's the idea. Make him work, make him tired. Because one thing that I'm going to tell you, if Cyril Gane gets Ngannou tired, it's not going to be like with Stipe. He's going to get him out. I do believe that Gane is a better finisher than Stipe. And if Ngannou gets tired against Cyril Gane, he's done. So yeah, that's the keys to victory for Cyril Gane. Make Ngannou work in the clinch to tire him up. Do some damage coming out of the clinch with elbows, knees, flying knees, what have you, right? Manage the distance, right? I'm not even talking about cardio, because cardio is good. Manage the distance, and make sure to favor his kicks, right? Calves kicks, knees, front kick, kick to the head, right? All these techniques, make sure to favor them and to vary them. A lot of feints, obviously. You got to keep this guy guessing, and you got to keep him on his toes, ready. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to. You always have to keep him thinking. That's it. So that's the keys to victory for Cyril Gane. Now for Francis Ngannou, the keys to victory. He has to do a lot, right? I mean, we see the difficulties with Francis Ngannou, as everybody knows, right, is that this guy, he doesn't stay long in the octagon when he's facing someone. I mean, we've seen it even we've seen it with Jorginho. We've seen it with even the second fight with Miocic. We've seen it with all the Cain Velasquez, um, Arlovsky, all of his opponent that he has. We've seen it. He doesn't stay along, so it's hard to evaluate the extent of, let's say, the progress. Although we don't even see footage and videos of him training and improving, like wrestling or stuff like that. So it's really hard to know what to expect when Ngannou is going to get into the octagon against Cyril Gane. And that's a big unknown, and that's a big risk for Cyril Gane, because if Ngannou has improved like drastically, it's going to be a big surprise for Cyril Gane. And for Cyril Gane, the thing is that we have a lot of things on him, and we see a lot of things. He's taking a long time in the on the octagon, so we know what his style is, and what he's resting on in terms of weapons. So in that, there's already a phenomenon of unknown on Ngannou's side. What we know the weaknesses of Ngannou are his cardio. He seems to be big muscle guy that doesn't move a lot, and so on and so forth. But so around that, so is it true or not? We don't know. But around that, we have to try to find out, like, what are the keys to victory for Mr. Ngannou, right? And I think that for Ngannou, with what we know, the keys for victory is very simple. And he already started to apply it in the fight with Stipe Miocic, the second one. Control the pace of the fight. He has to control the pace of the fight, especially with his cardio issues, right? He cannot let Cyril Gane dictate the pace of the fight, because Cyril Gane is going to take him to a place where Ngannou is not going to be able to respond anymore, where he's going to be tired a lot, right? Obviously, he has to make Cyril Gane fight on the back foot. We've seen that Cyril Gane is not that at ease when fighting on the back foot. Not that he's not able to fight going backward, because he's able to do it. But he's a lot less dangerous fighting backwards than when he has the chance to, to study his opponent, to set up his shots, to plant his feet, to decide where he's going to strike. I mean, when he's got time, he's a lot more dangerous. When he controls the pace, he's a lot more dangerous. When he's moving forward, he's a lot more dangerous, right? So, and we've seen that against guys like Rosenstruck. When he fought Rosenstruck, we've seen the limitation there. When he fought even Kozlov, we've seen the limitation. Did he win the fights? Yeah, convincingly, yes. But we've seen that it wasn't the same type of domination that he did against, example, a Lewis that was totally made for his style of fight, right? Or other opponent. So definitely, he has to make Cyril Gane fight on the back foot. And he has to keep him guessing as well. A lot of feints, right? And this is going to help to set up, because at the end of the day, a fighter, a powerful fighter, a guy who had knockout power, what does he have to do? And like Teddy Asler said, he has to adjust his delivery system. He has to make he has to make it so that everything that he does is to be able at one point to set up that right hand, and that right hand can connect, right? And we're talking only about the right hand, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he's got other, Francis Ngannou got other tools, let me tell you this. So he's got to keep Cyril Gane guessing, right? So he's got to vary what? He's got to vary the strike zones, right? Well, is he going on the calves, on the body, on the head? Yeah, it shouldn't only be like head hunting. And I think that we've seen that against Stipe. He has changed that. His fight IQ is a little bit higher, right? And he understands that he cannot only be like head hunting and try to knock people out in the first with each punch, because it's going to gas him out, right? He has to vary the strikes, obviously, and the techniques, right? Not only the strike zone, but also the techniques, kicks. He has to throw kicks, jabs, elbows. When we're talking about kicks, the same thing. He has to go for the calves, like he went for the calves against Stipe Miocic. He has to go for the head. He connected to with the high kick to the head with Stipe Miocic, and to the body as well. He has to go with punches, jab especially, right, and elbows. Like he knows, he also has those techniques, and obviously throw a lot of feints, right, to also keep Mr. Bongama Gane on his toes. and that's going to be very important as well. He has to keep him guessing because I think the fight IQ of Gane is such that if he sees a certain pattern, he's able to to computer it and to set up a counter attack for this pattern. So he's going to have to feint a lot, vary the zone of striking, vary the strikes to keep Gane guessing. And of course, now the cardio. He has to control his cardio. He has to manage his cardio. One thing that is we've seen him do is during the second fight against Stipe Miocic, he did control the pace. And the reason why he controlled the pace is because of the threat of that power, right? And I think that the threat of that power is going to carry on with Cyril Gane, except if Cyril Gane thinks that he is able to take that power, right, and decides to go toe to toe against Ngannou, which I think would be a mistake. So considering that Ngannou has that power, that threat of power, and that he doesn't have the same threat of the power of Gane anyway at the beginning, because this could change again. This could change. Maybe Gane is going to give him a right hand or a hook, uppercut, that is going to make him change his mind. We don't know. But he's going to have, and I think that Gane actually is going to have to do that, to get a little bit of respect and to be able to threaten and move forward. If he wants to move forward, that's the way that he has to do it. Otherwise, Ngannou's not going to let him move forward. So, yeah, so he's going to have to manage for the cardio. Ngannou's going to have to control the fight. He's going to have to control the pace of the fight to be able to manage his cardio. And just that and that's going to be surprising for some of you. I do think that Ngannou at the end of the day has a pretty good cardio, but it's just that when you look at the way that he hits the pads or he spars, right? He's a lot more relaxed. He's a lot more loose, right? Than when he gets into the ring. When he gets into the ring, it seems like, man, he's all tensed up. He's all like stressed up, and all that stress and that tension, right? Does really reflect on his cardio and does really burn a lot of gas. So that's why also he gets tired a lot. One thing that Ngannou has to avoid, also he has to avoid the clinch. He cannot go into a clinch or a grappling match against Cyril Gane because this is going to burn his gas as well, right? I think that he should use the clinch and the grappling, to defend, he should defend the takedown, defend the clinch, and make sure to protect himself coming out of the clinch, right? Because Cyril Gane is pretty swift, he's pretty smart, and coming out of the clinch, he always hits you with something, right? So Ngannou has to be very, very vigilant in that and make sure that he's able to control when they're coming out of the clinch. So, in my opinion, quite frankly, when I look at all this, so the keys to victory for Ngannou: control the pace of the fight, make Cyril Gane, vary the strike zone, vary the strikes, right? Feints, jab, right, and front kicks. Keep Cyril Gane guessing and make him fight on his back foot. For the cardio, make sure that you don't get into a clinch or a grappling battle as well, right? And be careful coming out of the clinch. I think that if Ngannou does all that, I mean, he's really he's going to win this fight easy, right? Now, what we were saying is that Gane was better and more agile than Ngannou. I don't think so. I think that they just have different styles, but that Ngannou is a pretty agile guy, right? I'm just going to show you some footage here of Ngannou not hitting the pads. Yeah, hitting the pads on a workout. And this was in 2019, right? So look at the way he moves, right? Look at the way he moves. Look at the way he changes his stance, switches stance. Boom. That. Moving. Moving. There you go. I mean, does that look to you? Yeah, he's what we call a false heavy guy. He's very agile in the way that he's very agile. It's just that he doesn't jump. He could, if he wanted to, jump around like Cyril Gane is jumping around, but he just don't want to do that. That's not his style. Look at the knees. He's got knees as well, right? He's got knees. There you go. Your elbows. You wanted elbows. You got elbows. So I mean, you have to be very careful. Look at this. Look at the move here. Again, very agile, very agile, very agile. But it's just that he doesn't. He does not. He does not bounce around all the time, right? Does he have the greater kicks than Cyril Gane? Maybe not, but that's not expected. Cyril Gane, he's the Muay Thai fighter who's supposed to have those kicks, right? But Francis Ngannou is right there. No worries, he's right there. Don't pay too much. Look at this one. I mean, when you see him train, he's pretty loose. When you see him train, he's pretty loose. He's really pretty loose, right? But when he gets into the fight, that's when you see that he gets tense, and that's where his energy, his heart beat, his heart rate maybe races a lot higher and make him spend all that gas. So if he can't control, his emotion when he gets into the ring, relax a little bit more, enjoy himself a little bit more. I'm gonna tell you something. Cyril Gane is in for a rude awakening. And those who are basing themselves on the sparring regarding between Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane, just listen to this. So this is Eric Knapsack talking about. I think it was what in Fake Friends MMA channel. He was talking about like the famous video that was released. First of all, he was saying that that was totally unrespectful because normally the hidden rule in the gym is that you don't disclose these type of things, right? So he's talking about the video that was being released and that he think was edited, right?
Understand or know. So they're holding all the cards. I know some things that happened in that gym that Francis told me that they didn't show. Happened in that gym that Francis told me that they. So I know some things that happened in that gym that Francis told me that they didn't show. So I know some things that happened
You
in that
understand
gym
that?
that Francis told me that they didn't show. So it's like, well, where's that video? How come you didn't post that? Right?
So be careful when you're watching all these video and all that. So that fight is going to be a lot more interesting that we think, and maybe it's not that much a good news for Cyril Gane as well, and for all that thing that based on that sparring video, Cyril Gane is going to kill and to win against Francis Ngannou, right? So yeah, so this is my prediction. I think that Francis Ngannou is going to win, and you know what? I don't know if it's by knockout. I think it's going to be by knockout. I think it's going to be by knockout. In between the second round and the third round. That's what I think. But you know what? If it goes to decision, I'm not ready to say that it's going to be Gane who's going to win by decision. To be honest with you, especially see if Francis is able to always control the pace of the fight and make Gane fight on his back foot, right? Because this way is and avoid the clinches, because this way is going to be able to have enough gas to last until the end. So yeah, so Francis Ngannou, the win for sure. How he's going to win, I think he's going to be second or third round knockout, right? But I wouldn't be surprised about a decision win on his part as well. This being said here, uh, please keep give me your comments. Just let me know what you think about this. And thumbs up, thumbs down. It doesn't matter. You everybody's got his opinion on this. If you want to comment and tell me why you think that Francis or Cyril is going to win or lose, let me know. I'll be more than happy to read you guys and to reply.